Hello Thunderstruck Gaming, my name is Raspiga Blue, here with a mix of Black Ops 3 and CoD4 gameplay, both on PC. Normally I would include music, but since they're all copyrighted and I'm on Thunderstruck channel, I decided it would be best to not. Now before I get into my topic, I want to thank Thunder so much for allowing me on this community channel. It really means a lot to me because a small channel like mine has a hard time reaching many people nowadays. So a big YouTuber like Thunder just stepping out of his way to help a channel like mine really helps with my channel growth, and I sincerely appreciate that. Now today I want to talk about lag, specifically lag compensation in Call of Duty. So as you know, when you shoot a gun at an enemy player in Call of Duty, you would notice a time delay between when the gun shoots and when you receive that distinct hit marker sound. Online, the time delay naturally becomes bigger and more noticeable because of your and your enemy's ping numbers. It seems that the lag compensation Call of Duty implements works like this. After you shoot, the server must first confirm the registration before giving you the hit marker, and that is why you feel a delay. The reason why this time around I'm including CoD4 gameplay and my Call of Duty gameplay in general revolves around shotguns is because I want you guys to see and hear how different Black Ops 3's lag compensation is compared to Call of Duty 4's. And you should already notice that Black Ops 3's delay is much bigger, which is why I'm bringing this topic up. Isn't it strange that the newer a Call of Duty is, the worse the delay gets? Well, I don't know much about Ghosts or Advanced Warfare since I didn't buy or play those games, but the statement seems to hold true for the Treyarch Call of Duties. What is going on and why would this be? Well, I have a few theories. The first theory is that the aging game engine, the IW engine, is less and less able to handle everything, including lag compensation, as more content is added. And this could tie in with why the graphics in Black Ops 3 are not much better than in Modern Warfare 2. Yet my PC, which is pretty powerful by the way, suffers from frame rate drops in the former. This also raises concern for future Call of Duties because every new release recently has had many optimization issues. And so it's questionable whether the developers nowadays are competent enough to make a properly working Call of Duty game. But there's something wrong with this theory. The consoles have no optimization problems, despite playing at medium to high-ish settings, at basically 1080p 60 frames per second. So this theory doesn't hold much weight. I do have a second theory though, and by the way, I'm not the first to come up with this, credit goes to a YouTuber named B. Dobbins for the win. But this theory is much darker, and I'm glad it's getting more attention. The second theory is that Treyarch, or the division of it in charge of handling lag compensation, is creating this lag on purpose by coding it inside the game. That is why this horrible lag is testable offline in split screen and against multiplayer bots. And my results show at around 300 milliseconds or 300 ping. Online, add your and your enemy's ping numbers and you'd be essentially playing at 400 ping or worse. This is greatly alarming, but I'm sure you're all asking, why the hell would they do this? Well, I'm sure you've heard Thunder complain about broken camera angles since Black Ops 2. He didn't seem to mention this issue in Black Ops 3 much yet, but in my experience this issue still exists. Do you know what broken camera angles do to gunfights? This feature randomizes the outcome of them. It does this by making the positions of you and your enemy really off, and by the time you see each other, it's basically a flip of the coin to see who gets the camera angle advantage. And since the server only accepts one gunfight winner by rejecting whichever kill comes second, you could seemingly kill your enemy on your screen, but if he killed you first according to the server, you won't be provided with enough hit markers for an actual kill. This obviously greatly reduces the legitimacy of skill in Call of Duty, and guess what group of gamers benefit the most from this? Noobs and dad players. Because they usually lose more gunfights anyway, randomizing the outcome of those gunfights by doing a 50-50 coin toss obviously makes them win some gunfights that they shouldn't have, while losing the gunfights that should have anyway. Consequently, the group of gamers who suffer is obviously the veterans, aka better players. Because they usually win gunfights, the 50-50 coin toss makes them lose some gunfights that they should have won. So this coin toss theory states that Treyarch probably makes the game lag on purpose in order to cater to noobs, give them a better chance to win. Because it's not fun to lose all the time, Treyarch must find a way to keep noobs playing the game long enough to consider buying DLC and microtransactions. In other words, money. Profit. That's what Treyarch wants, naturally. And it's probably clear that the majority of players in Call of Duty are bad. And the very small minority of good players are, in theory, hurting sales by destroying noobs and making them quit the game early. Treyarch does not see most good players as profitable. Of course, unless they're Activision's pet dogs like Ali A or T Martin or Chaos, who make colorful videos to attract the attention of innocent kids. Get them to persuade their parents to buy the next Call of Duty. So those few that do that are of course profitable players. But a player like me, who just stomps noobs in public lobbies, but doesn't care about how much money Treyarch or Activision will make, a player like me is not profitable. Even worse for them is when that player tells the entire internet through social media to not buy Call of Duty, like I have done for the past 3 years. And since I've started a YouTube channel recently, I'm even more of a threat to sales. So I'm pretty sure Activision wants me to stop buying Call of Duties in hopes of not spreading too much hate. After all, if I'm not playing, I theoretically care less about issues like lagging on purpose, and I talk less about it. It is true that not long after I've tested the in-game lag of Black Ops 3, I've gradually played this game less and less, and before I knew it, I haven't touched it for 2 weeks, not even to play zombies. The only time I would pick up that game is when I need more YouTube clips and talk about this game. That's pretty much it. However, I did have hope for this Call of Duty, and because of my disappointment, and in order to not make my money go to waste, I am definitely going to make more videos like this. Of course, the lag and corresponding hit detection are not the only problems that make me not like this Call of Duty, but I'm gonna save those other issues for other videos. If you like this commentary, come and check out my channel, but I have a little heads up before you do. I've just gotten a new mic, a blue snowball in fact, since my old one that came with my gaming headset started malfunctioning, and this is literally the first video that I've made with this new mic, so if my voice and most of my other videos sound low quality, that's kinda why. Regardless, I would greatly appreciate feedback on my voice in the comment section. Thank you again, Thunder, for allowing me to speak to your very chill community. It's been really fun. I'll see you guys at Raspiga Blue Gaming.